Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jackery and I'm a second year medical student studying at UCL. In today's video, I decided to bring you guys along in a day in my life after exam period had passed. We had exams a few days before I filmed this, and after taking a much needed break, I decided to try find my workflow and balance again. I woke up, brushed my teeth, washed up, and then decided to start working. When I wake up early, I find that I'm a lot more productive if I start working first and then have breakfast, since I'm usually not super hungry in the morning. For my first block of work, I decided to make a start on catching up on my Anki reviews. Because my workload increased during exam period, I did find it harder to stay on top of my reviews, so I decided that today was the day I was going to make up for all of it. After that, I decided to have my breakfast, which was just a bit of toast and some eggs. After breakfast, I sat down to start tutoring. My first session was scheduled for 9 AM and I only had 3 hours of tutoring to do, which wasn't too bad. Last year, I used to tutor a lot more, but with the intensity of second year and life moving back to face, I decided to cut back a bit and focus on medical school a lot more and actually going into university and being a bit more present. These morning sessions were just intro sessions with my new students, and for that reason they didn't last too long. I was actually meant to finish at around 12 but ended up finishing around half 11, so I decided to get through a bit more work after that. Once that was done, I got changed and then decided to get ready to go out for a quick workout. Alright, so I had rather uneventful morning, didn't really do that much, had a bit of tutoring to do and mainly just did some Anki. But now what I'm going to do is, it's about midday, so I'm going to go and work out, get a quick workout in. I think when exam period got really busy, I sometimes end up putting working out on the back foot, which I know isn't good, but it happens. I'm just going to get a quick session in. The weather's looking alright, it was raining a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to be working outdoors today, so yeah, it should be hopefully a good session, and then after that's done I can maybe get back home, get some more work done and see where we go from there. But yeah, hopefully it's a good session.
أبدا لن نحيد أبدا لن نحيد عن خطى الإيمان دربنا درب قويم دربنا درب قويم بالهدى القرآني أبدا لن نحيد أبدا لن نحيد أبدا لن نحيد عن خطى الإيمان دربنا درب قويم دربنا درب قويم بالهدى القرآني سائر في طريق الحق يا جند الله.
I definitely think it's a bit ironic to cut back on working out in order to prioritize exams, because I've always felt like carrying on doing the things you enjoy, like working out or any hobbies, is a healthy way to manage stress, and you usually end up doing a lot better in exams. But I think this time round I let the workload get to me a bit. It was good though, because it let me reflect and realize that for my next round of exams I want to be more conscious of having a balance. This workout wasn't too long and it was partially an excuse to get out and get some fresh air. I've definitely found myself prioritizing outdoor workouts more than going to a gym. Although I still have a gym membership, I find that working outdoors is, one, a lot more nicer because you get a bit of fresh air, but it's also a lot more sustainable and convenient.
أبدا لن نحيد عن خطى الإيمان دربنا درب قويم.
Once I'd gotten home, I took a shower, had something to eat off camera, and then got a little drink to keep me going, sugar free of course, and decided to get through some more work.
إن ضاقت الدنيا ارتحلنا عاليا لسنا الذين على الحياة نضام نرقى جموعا.
Please appreciate the absolute amazing dedication to the editing, because I set up 2 cameras beforehand to get 2 different angles. After I finished with this block of work, I decided to give myself a break by doing some reading. At the time of this video I was reading The Kite Runner, an amazing book recommended to me by a friend of mine, and I highly recommend anyone who's watching this who likes reading to definitely give that book a try. So I've got a few errands I need to run, a few things I need to sort out, so I'm on my way to sort those things out. I think once that's sorted, I'll probably get back home, get some work done, and then call it a day. It's probably going to take up about an hour of my time, which is not that big of a deal. But yeah, once that's sorted, I can probably just get a few more things done, and then I'll be free for most of the day. which is good for me because I'm trying to get through this really good book, and it would be nice to have some more time to do that now that exams have kind of calmed down a little bit. Once I'd gotten home, I felt motivated to do one final small burst of work because the day generally felt quite productive, and since I know it's not sustainable for me to work this much all the time, I like making the most of these bursts of motivation. But I quickly realized after a while that I was quite tired, so despite this motivation, I did then decide to have dinner and then get ready for bed. Once I'd finished washing up and brushing my teeth, I got into bed and got through more of my book. I actually ended up reading for a lot longer than I realized, so once I did realize that it was getting a bit late, I turned off the lights and called it a day. Thank you for following me through my day. I hope you enjoyed it, and definitely stay tuned for more videos.